Well, guys, I got the whole front angle kit on, and I am so pumped. I've actually been driving it around for the past couple days, and just feeling it out, and it's freaking amazing. Let me show you guys what it looks like, because it's got straight drift stance now, and I love it. Boom! So you can see I got quite a bit of camber in the front right now. The back I haven't got the adjustables for yet. Coilovers I haven't got the adjustables for. So, you know, for some reason, no, it sits pretty low. I don't know if that's due to the difference in the mounting position of the shock, but the car looks great. I love the drift, you know, front tires poke a little more, rear's kind of in still. Looks awesome. I mean, if I lowered it right now, those wheels will be hella flush, which is just so awesome. So I'm torn a little bit on this car and how I want to set the suspension up, because I don't want, I do want it to be a very capable drift car, but I also want to be able to street drive it, so I don't want to do a bunch of crazy stuff that you would normally do to kind of make it a little easier to drift. But we are going to set it up drifty. So what we're going to do is, first of all, and I don't know if you'll be able to tell this on camera, but my wheel is straight right now, and I definitely have quite a bit of toe in on both wheels. So again, I haven't got my alignment yet because I'm waiting for my rear end stuff and my coilovers, but if I'm going to keep driving it around, we got to take some of the toe out. So we're going to go ahead and take some of the toe out. I also think that, so now the wheels right now are pretty flush, but I still have a 1-inch-ish spacer in my wheels right now, behind my wheels. So we got room to move them in. So I think, so right now, we're limited on angle by the trailing wheel, because the brake caliper in the front of the in the front of the hub hits the shock. So, which is a common problem. It was the same problem I had before. It's definitely better now because the wheel is farther out, but we can go a little bit farther out farther. We can extend the lowers another about 10 millimeters. And then also when we take some, if we take some of the camber out, that's also going to help. So I think that's what we're going to go ahead and do today. But first I want to measure what the camber is at right now, and I want to see what the camber is at full lock on the lead wheel. And then we'll kind of go from there and see, you know, how it looks. So basically what I got here is a digital angle finder. It is relatively accurate. It says 0.3 of a degree of accuracy, plus or minus, so it's pretty close to being accurate. And basically we're going to use this to kind of dial in the camber close and dial in, well, not the toe, but get our toe a little better and dial in our camber a little bit better. And then when we go to the alignment, we'll, you know, actually know our real numbers. So basically I'm going to lay this right here. My tires are actually skinny enough. Let's see here. Yeah, so if we go middle to middle, we can actually lay this on the rim and see where this is at. Let's go ahead and put this on here. And that says 81.9. So 82 degrees is what this says. So basically from 90 degrees, that means we got about 8 degrees of camber when we're riding straight, which is a little heavy. Let's check the other side just to see if it compares. So basically what I got is, it's saying about 8 degrees on this side and about, it was 85 and like a half-ish, so 5.5, 6 degrees on that side. So they're relatively close. The car's not corner balanced. It's not on a level surface right now. So, but what I do know is that the top arms and the lower control arms are set to the same on both sides. So given that they're relatively close, but we are going to pull a couple degrees out. I want about 4 or 5 degrees camber. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to throw it to full lock and measure the camber on the lead wheel and see what it shows. So that's basically full lock. We do got a little bit more just because I can't hold my steering wheel over. A little bit extra. And right now, again, what's limiting us is the brake caliper on the trailing wheel is hitting the shock. So, you know, but this is about it. This will give us a good idea of what we got. Full lock. So we're at 87.8. So basically 88 degrees is kind of what it's showing here. So ideally we want this at full lock to be straight up and down. So basically the way we would fix this here is by, let's see. So we need to pull the top of the wheel out farther, about 2 degrees. So again, what I think we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and take our lower control arm out as far as we possibly can. That way we can get as much angle out of this as possible. And then we'll go ahead and dial in our top control arms. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to basically pick the middle on both sides, because again, the car is not level. So I don't know exactly which angle is the right angle or which one is closer to the right angle. So we're going to go ahead and pull the lowers out all the way. We'll probably take the spacer out of the wheel and go from there. All right, so I went ahead and got the car jacked up and I got the wheels off. So first thing we're going to do is lengthen our lower control arms, which unfortunately is not the easiest thing to do regardless of what kit you got. There's no way to adjust it without removing the rose joints. So we're gonna have to drop the subframe mount, which is a pain in the butt by yourself because it's big and it's not light. And then we'll have to loosen this bolt up here and probably just kind of support this hub or knuckle, and just go ahead and twist those out and measure them out. Again, if you're looking for measurements on how to set this stuff up, GKTech has awesome videos on how to set everything up. Right now, from the way you measure, I have them set to 50 millimeters out. The maximum you can go is 60.5. So I'm just going to cut the half out because it's obviously hard to measure. I'm going to measure out 60 millimeters about, as close as I most accurately can on both sides, and we're going to go ahead and get those lower control arms extended. All right, guys, so I've been doing a pretty bad job of filming, but unfortunately it's March and the time hasn't changed, so it gets dark here really effing early, which absolutely sucks. And it's impossible for me to film on this stupid Hero at nighttime because it doesn't do good in low light settings. But last night I redid the front suspension. I extended the lower control arms to their max, which is 60 millimeters. I pulled some camber out of the top arms. I extended those to about 100 millimeters, which is almost max extension, and readjusted my front end so that now I have a little bit of toe out instead of toe in. It's still not perfect, but it drives so much better. So there it is now. You can see the wheels are definitely poked hardcore. And obviously my problem is now, I drove to work today and my wheel hits my fender. I can't actually make it do it, but yeah. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and we still have some 1-inch spacers in the front here, so we're gonna go ahead and take those out and check it out and see what it looks like, and also check our clearance on both sides and make sure that we don't hit the sway bar when we're turning full lock and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get that done. So, whew, you saw I had to do that twice because I checked this one for rotation and it's an inside-outside tire, but that one was a rotation tire because they're two different tires, I didn't realize. So, these tires are pretty much beat, but the reason I put these on is because they are 235/40s, which is the size tire that I'm going to be running in the front of this car. The old ones are only 215, way too small. So, and that looks better. Funny thing is, it seems like it's sitting higher, which you would think it'd look lower because the tire's bigger. So I guess the suspension just needs to settle. So basically we're gonna drive it around and yeah, make that happen. But first we're gonna go ahead and swap the back ones too, just so they match. All right, got them all changed. Now it's time to go drive around, let the suspension settle, and probably wash it. I sprayed some wheel cleaner on the wheels before I started, which you guys didn't see. But this is actually the first time I've cleaned it. I've had this car for 2 months now. So I haven't really been too concerned about cleaning it, but hey.